Good morning, I'm Councillor Glen and this is my weekly update for Saturday, August the 9th. This morning I'm on a pathway next to Poole Creek in the Fairwinds community. A lovely spot here. This particular pathway is off of Rosehill and connects around to Helm Circle and quite high off of Poole Creek, as Poole Creek kind of goes through the trench through Fairwinds here. So yeah, beautiful spot if you're looking for someplace to come and explore. I found a shady spot because it's another hot sunny day here in Stittsville. I'll get right into the updates, and I wanted to start this week with a reminder about accessibility and something that I'd just like to ask everyone in Stittsville to be thinking about, cognizant of, and yeah, a little more aware of how our actions can affect other people. So on accessibility, three things. One, accessible parking spots. They're meant for people with a permit who actually have an accessibility need to be in those parking spots. Our bylaw still hands out a lot of tickets to people who are parked without the proper permit in those accessible spots. Number two, this is something everybody can help with. When you're putting your garbage and recycling and compost out for the weekly pickup, don't block the sidewalks. Keep it on your driveway or on your lawn, because there may be people who need to use the sidewalks if they have a wheelchair or a mobility device, and it can be really difficult to navigate around on the sidewalk if there's something like a garbage or recycling bin in the way. And the third one is curbside parking. Make sure your car is on the road. I've seen this a lot where cars are parked with a wheel on the sidewalk or encroaching onto the sidewalk. Again, that can be a real challenge for people using wheelchairs and other mobility devices, even people walking a stroller, people who might be visually impaired. It can be a real hazard as people are trying to make it down sidewalks. So sidewalks are pretty narrow as it is. Make sure you're leaving them completely open and unobstructed for other people in the community. So thank you for that. I want to talk about some events coming up. There's a big fundraiser today, all weekend, at the Restore on Ivor Road. This is the Habitat for Humanity Restore Book Fair. They've got thousands of books, and all proceeds go to Habitat for Humanity and the work that they're doing to build affordable homes. This afternoon, Saturday afternoon, the Zonta Club has an event called Paint the Ladies Orange at Village Square Park. And it's to raise awareness for a campaign on gender-based violence. Next week, next Saturday evening, the Kiwanis Club is hosting their annual Movie in the Park at Village Square Park, an outdoor movie. I believe it's Moana. And then Pride Week is coming up, and our Stittsville Pride Week flag raising ceremony is on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. at Village Square Park, August 17th. So check out my website for more information about all of these. You can go to glengower.ca/events. Look for our event calendar, and they're all listed there, including some of the weekly events that happen every week. This morning, Saturday morning, there's always the park run over on the Trans-Canada Trail. Every Sunday morning, there is the market at the barn, the Sunday weekly market. Lots of stuff happening in Stittsville this weekend and in coming weeks, so please check that out and go out and take part and be a part of your community. Looking back on the week that was, in no particular order, some highlights for my week. On Tuesday, I had the chance to meet with Chief Stubbs, Police Board Chair Salim Fakirani, and Inspector Ian Hayes. We talked about policing in Stittsville, and I shared a lot of your feedback that we collected from the survey over the past couple of weeks. A lot of that was centered around traffic enforcement, and the chief and his colleagues were very receptive to that feedback. They recognize it's an issue, and they are continuing to roll out a neighborhood policing plan that will mean more police presence in our Stittsville community. So that's good, and I'll have more updates on that in the coming weeks as well. Poole Creek Pathway, not here, but over further towards the golf course. I shared an update on my website about the results of a feasibility study that we did to determine if there's any spots where we can expand the existing Poole Creek pathways. There's a pathway along most of Poole Creek from where it meets the Carp River all the way to the Trans-Canada Trail, Goulburn wetlands, but there's some gaps in there. So we did a feasibility study to look at where the pathway could be extended. One possibility is through the hydro corridor, connecting between Amber Lakes and Amber Wood. Now, I want to emphasize, we've had some feedback on this. I want to be clear, this is a feasibility study. It doesn't mean it's happening. We don't have the budget for it. We just wanted to assess where it would be possible. We looked at 3 corridors. 2 out of the 3 aren't possible due to floodplain constraints or due to land ownership issues. So there's only 1 that's even feasible, but a lot of steps in the process. And thanks, folks, for your feedback so far on that. You can find more information on my website at glengower.ca. Also on my website, you'll find information about planned maintenance on the Glen Cairn Stormwater Pond. It's called the Glen Cairn Stormwater Pond, but it's actually on the Stittsville side of Terry Fox near Abbott. There's some maintenance work that needs to happen there. It'll be starting a week from Monday, so be aware of that. And we've also posted the video from our development information meeting for the proposed development at Hazeldean and Savage. This is an apartment, a high-rise development that hasn't been submitted formally to the city yet, so we hosted an information meeting so that the owner, developer of the property could share information and take questions and comments from residents before they make their submission to the City of Ottawa. So thank you to residents who took part in that, and if you're interested, check out my website or my YouTube channel for that video. On OC Transpo, if you are someone who uses the Eagleson Park and Ride, that's one reason, or perhaps you're riding frequently the 61 and the 62, OC Transpo has made some changes to the westbound detour. So that's Route 61, Route 62, and Route 63. Due to some Queensway off-ramp closures, they've been detouring down Carling Avenue to service Pinecrest and Bayshore in the westbound trips. And OC Transpo has now changed that detour, so they are going to skip the Pinecrest stop in the westbound direction. That whole detour is adding about 10 minutes per trip, and that removal of Pinecrest is probably going to save about 5 minutes. The off-ramps should be back open by Labor Day, and then those detours will be removed completely and back to somewhat normal operations. And if you're someone who uses Pinecrest westbound, there's going to be a shuttle running every 15 minutes between Lincoln Fields and Pinecrest. The other one is, as of last Friday, OC Transpo now has fare capping on Presto cards, as well as mobile pay, well, it's called O-payment, so mobile pay, credit card tap, and debit card tap. What that means is you don't really need to buy a monthly pass anymore. You certainly can, but you just tap your Presto or your other form of payment, and once you reach the number of trips it would take to cover the cost of a monthly pass, which I think is $135, you won't be charged any more during the month. So if you're someone who's not sure, oh, am I going to make enough trips to make my pass worthwhile? Well, you don't have to do that calculation at the beginning of the month. Just tap, and then once you meet that threshold, you won't have to tap again. So I think that's a really good feature with the Presto card. Cleaning the Capital. Really happy to share that Stittsville was #1 this year in the spring cleaning the Capital. We had more projects than any ward across the city, so thank you to all the volunteers who took part in that. That is great news. And the registration for the fall Cleaning the Capital campaign launches next week. We'll share some information about that on my website. You can go to ottawa.ca/clean for more info. A great way to get some neighbors, some family, friends, an organization together, and take care of one of the parks in our community this fall. And finally, we are under a heat warning today and into the weekend. Super hot. I don't think it's going to be as smoky today, which is a good thing. But good morning. Certainly the heat warning, it's not just, it's a meaningful thing, right? Because there's a lot of people who are vulnerable, have health issues, who really struggle in the heat. So it's important that we be aware of that. If you know a neighbor maybe who doesn't have air conditioning, particularly if they're a older adult or someone with some health issues, please check in on them during this heat wave. Just knock on the door, or if you know their phone number, give them a call, see how they're doing, offer maybe to bring them over to your place and let them cool off for a little bit. We also have lots of City of Ottawa facilities like Cardell Rec that have air conditioning that people can go to cool off. And Ottawa Public Health has a great resource page where they've got a map of all sorts of public places where people can go and cool off. So go to ottawapublichealth.ca and you will see the extreme heat information there. And then, you know, Poole Creek is part of the Carp River watershed, and the entire Carp River watershed, the Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority manages that watershed, and they put out an alert that the water levels are very low due to the lack of rain. Doesn't directly affect people here in Stittsville, but for folks who are not on municipal water, people are being advised to reduce their water use, and businesses and residents who rely on water are being asked to conserve water, because it's a pretty serious situation right now. We really need the rain. Anyhow, that's it for me. I hope you stay cool this weekend. Thank you for watching, and have a great Saturday. Take care. Bye-bye.